What are the arguments for why people don't carry a gun? The first big one that I hear all the time is that, oh, you're never going to need it. The chances of being involved in a crime are so thin that you won't be the victim. You're not going to need that gun. You're just carrying it for no reason. Well, you know what? I carry a gun because nobody can predict when I will be involved in a crime. When we get to the time where people can accurately tell me where and when crime will happen, I will stop carrying a gun, because then I will avoid those places where the crime is going to happen and I won't have to worry about it. But until that day comes, and I don't believe it will ever come, I am going to have my gun with me so that if crime happens in front of me and I cannot escape that crime, I can use the gun to stop an imminent deadly threat against me or the people I love. Another one is, well, why don't you just call the cops? Well, I am a cop, and I know how long it takes me to get across my tiny little town if someone calls. Now, think of a bigger city where crime is more likely to happen, and think about the response time for police officers. If you have a 4-minute response time, how much damage could be done to you by a person with a gun or a knife or a bat or just a really strong dude who's going to beat the crap out of you for 4 minutes? You need to be able to protect yourself.
There are many reasons why people carry concealed weapons. Some people carry because they think it's cool. These people are very, very dangerous. You got to stay away from these people. They look for any excuse to show off their weapons. And you just don't want to be around them. They're actually worse than criminals in my mind. So stay away from the people who just want to use guns or carry guns because they're cool. Then you have the people who have been victimized, okay? That's a whole nother group of dangerous. They're dangerous because the only way they can feel safe now is to go out in public with a gun. Now, anything that scares them or they perceive as a threat could possibly become a target. And you never know where you'll be when that target is presented to them and how that affects you. So stay away from these people. They're dangerous too. Then you have those others that carry in protection of other citizens. And I think these are selfless Americans. And I take my hat off to you because you put yourself before anybody else, and that's the ultimate sacrifice that you're willing to pay for your fellow Americans. So that's an excellent reason to carry a concealed weapon. Some time ago, I heard some smart gun guys say that it's not only your right as an American citizen to carry a concealed weapon and to protect yourself, but it's the most basic of human rights. I mean, I don't care what you talk about that is a living organism, anything, a plant, an insect, an animal, a human being, anything is going to protect themselves and try to preserve their life when faced with death. So that's a basic right that we have as humans and as Americans. And it's hard to believe that some people want to take this right away from us. But for me, carrying a concealed weapon is much more simple. There are 3 small but very important reasons why I carry a concealed weapon with me every day. My oldest daughter, my middle daughter, and my 5-month-old son. That's why I carry. I got to make it home every night. I got to make it to work every day. They depend on me to live. If I don't bring home the bacon, they don't eat the bacon. And that's big to me. What more can I say?
Exodus 22 verses 2-3. If a thief be found breaking up, and be smitten that he die, there shall no blood be shed for him. If the sun be risen upon him, there shall be blood shed for him. For he should make full restitution. If he have nothing, then he shall be sold for his theft. In these verses, the Bible addresses a scenario where someone is defending their home from a thief. The law permits a homeowner to defend themselves if the break-in occurs at night, suggesting that self-defense is justified when the threat is immediate and unclear. However, if the event happens during the day, the response must be less lethal, reflecting a situation where the intruder can be more clearly assessed and potentially apprehended without lethal force. This distinction highlights the importance of proportionality and discernment in self-defense situations. Luke 22 verse 36. Then said he unto them, But now, he that hath a purse, let him take it, and likewise his scrip, and he that hath no sword, let him sell his garment, and buy one. Here, Jesus advises his disciples to prepare for upcoming threats as they go out to spread the gospel. By instructing them to buy a sword, Jesus acknowledges the necessity of self-protection under certain circumstances. This verse is often cited to justify the possession of arms for self-defense. However, the context doesn't imply aggression. Instead, it emphasizes readiness and precaution in a world that might not always welcome their message. Nehemiah 4 verses 17 to 18. They which builded on the wall, and they that bare burdens, with those that laded, every one with one of his hands wrought in the work, and with the other hand held a weapon. For the builders every one had his sword girded by his side, and so builded. The builders of Jerusalem's walls under Nehemiah's leadership were instructed to carry weapons for protection against potential attacks. This dual approach of working and defending showcases the biblical endorsement of taking necessary measures for self-defense while engaged in important tasks. The verse promotes the principle of being vigilant and prepared, emphasizing that physical labor and spiritual work may require practical defense measures. Psalm 144 verse 1. Blessed be the Lord my strength, which teacheth my hands to war, and my fingers to fight. This psalm of David expresses gratitude for God's guidance in the skills of battle. David, a warrior and king, understood the necessity of physical defense in safeguarding his people and kingdom. The verse conveys that the ability to defend oneself can be seen as a divine blessing. It serves as a reminder that while God provides the strength and skill, the responsibility to protect oneself and others is a serious endeavor aligned with biblical teachings. Proverbs 25 verse 26. A righteous man falling down before the wicked is as a troubled fountain and a corrupt spring. This proverb underscores the consequences of failing to stand up against evil. In the context of self-defense, it can be interpreted as a call for the righteous to assert themselves to prevent the triumph of wickedness.